Welcome to Southwest Florida. But it's been raining on and off like crazy. Okay. Naples, Florida, the safest city in the United States. Are there homeless people here? Let's find out. It's like everywhere you look, they're building stuff in Naples. It's absolutely insane. So people think that in Naples, there's no hoods, bad areas, or homeless camps. But on today's video, we're going to show you that there's all types of crazy crap in Naples. That's right here. So you can see here how recently somebody busted out this window, and that is because there's a homeless camp right back here that recently got evicted. So when they evicted the homeless camp, the homeless people probably came over here and blew out the window to go inside this building. So you can see there's glass on the floor, and they had to come up and put plywood in front of it. Somebody just left their rotting sandwich here. You can see where there was a homeless camp here, and it recently got cleared out. But there's always clues left behind. You know, typical homeless camp stuff. Lighters and all types of goodies. All right, guys, so you wouldn't expect there to be homeless camps in Naples, but there are right here, right next to US 41. Is that a deer? There's a deer. What the crap? There's just a deer right there. Look at the ears looking right at us. So this site, they just ran the homeless camp out, but we'll get clues of, you know, what was going on here. What the crap? Okay, so there's literally a deer here. This is the oddest experience ever. We're literally 40 feet from a deer. We are like 40 feet from a deer right now. So as you can see, the reason this homeless camp was here is because this is the last remaining lot in all this area that's not developed. I know a lot of people don't care about homeless people, but they do care about animals more than other humans. And well, we can pretty much say that this empty lot here in Naples is the last empty lot in all of East Naples, which means that not only the homeless people, but the animals as well, this was the last bit of it. I mean, these deer are not even afraid to run. There's nowhere to run to. We are literally standing 40 feet from these deer, and they are not running from us. There's nowhere to run to because this is the last empty lot in all of North Naples. You can see the parking lot is just 200 feet from behind me, and you can see that scattered through these fields or shopping carts everywhere that the homeless people were using. Shopping cart over there, shopping cart over here, shopping cart over there. They're just scattered all through this field. There's like a really impoverished looking neighborhood over here. You can see here how this house turned their shed into an efficiency. They got 2 air conditioners, so it's a shed, but there's definitely people living in that shed. Gotta brush your teeth in the morning, gotta smoke and drink. Doesn't cease to amaze me how every time we enter into these homeless campsites, they always have money for beer and alcohol. But you can see they had a collection of corks in a Ziploc bag. You can see here what was left of this tent that just got demolished when they came to clear the lot. Somebody's soiled underwear. You can see a woman's piece of women's clothing articles right now. A lot of times there are women that are homeless, and other times a lot of the homeless people are registered predators and just registered offenders. In fact, this site here in this area, there are 3 registered offenders and 1 is a registered predator. And these guys are kind of creepy and weird, and sometimes they'll dig through the garbage, collect women's clothing articles, and then that's why sometimes you find women's clothing articles, because these guys are kind of creepy weirdos, and they'll bring the women's clothing articles to these homeless camps for whatever purposes. Really, the little details left behind this homeless camp are really a wealth of information, if you can interpret it properly, about the lives that these people live in these homeless camps. We're now standing on a site that was a homeless camp not too long ago, and well, today they have recently came through and knocked it down. So there's only remnants of this homeless camp at this point. In these homeless camps, anything from a bicycle tire to a tow strap can be used to improvise a structure. I haven't found any needles yet, but I see a lot of little pipes and little things and a lot of stuff that would suggest that there's some consumption here. There's always pipe-like items. You can see this particular branch had all types of stuff tied to it. It was part of the wall or the structure, you could say, of this homeless camp. Now, Naples is one of the richest cities in the United States, so all these are brand new stores and they throw out a lot of good stuff. So as far as access to hygiene products, they could probably just go dumpster diving here in Naples and find a lot of great stuff. So, you know, while finding a place to be homeless in Naples could be difficult, once you got a place, I mean, there's all types of stores where they throw out all types of great stuff. So in that aspect, it's not too bad. You can see somebody's been laying up here. Probably after they cleaned up this homeless camp, some people kept coming back. You're going to see a lot of, mosquito spray, and it's an absolute necessity out here. Naples is right next to the Florida Everglades, but you can see big gulps, lots of beer cans, different types of beer cans. So definitely a lot of drinking going on back here. Now these holes right here are used by the homeless people to bury their garbage. So you can see here how there's kind of caves and holes. Now, not only do homeless people bury their garbage in homeless camps, but let's suppose somebody were to overdose at this homeless camp. Most likely they don't want to call the cops because it brings a lot of attention. So a lot of times when people that are homeless die in homeless camps, they'll bury their own dead, because if the police comes, then they'll shut down the homeless camp. But for the most part, we can say that this empty lot has just been trashed. You can see here, it's just an assortment of different debris. We're talking from food, medicine, just a massive assortment of stuff here. We gotta be careful. We are in Naples, Florida, near the Florida Everglades, so there could definitely be rattlesnakes. In fact, there's a road right near here called Rattlesnake Hammock, so do the math. The name says it all. We can see that consumption of beverages. You know, if you're homeless, you probably should not be drinking too much if you want to get back on track. There's this aluminum can here, and it looks like they're stashing maybe dog food or cat food inside. But just an assortment of garbage here. You can see there's underwear, food. Now, there's something specific about Naples is you do not want to start a fire in Naples, because Naples has a lot of these palmetto plants and they burn like crazy. Very flammable. So they're going to burn those fire pits. That was bad. Here's a larger tree that they've spray painted a target on it. At most of these homeless camps, we're going to find spray paint cans. And the reason we find spray paint cans in homeless camps is because the homeless people do something called huffing. It's absolutely destructive. It's horrible. And they use spray paint cans for huffing. So what they'll do is they'll break into all these houses at night, go inside the sheds out back and look for spray paint cans in the garages, and then they'll get high with this stuff. They'll use this in combination with an aluminum can to get high. It's absolutely one of the most destructive things you can do to your body. Kills brain cells. It's just horrible. But at most of these homeless camps, we're finding spray paint cans. And I know that here in Naples, Florida, that's very popular. In fact, it was kind of one of the first places in the country where huffing became famous. Now, what is different about this homeless camp versus the ones that I see in other parts of the state is that there's a lot of food here. There's just a lot of food debris. So it seems like here, the homeless are able to get food more readily available, which makes sense being one of the richest cities in the country. In fact, there's even water bottles, which in most homeless camps are an unnecessary luxury. But here you can actually see that there's water bottles and water packets which again are somewhat of an unnecessary luxury at a homeless camp, but here they can afford that. You can see here there was actually a more permanent camp at this site, simply because they even had carpets down, and there's the deer right there. But this would have been a more permanent site. They even have a carpet here, and you can see that the construction crews came through and they cut down these branches and cut down these trees on purpose right around here to kind of convince them to leave. So we're talking, that is US 41 right there. So this is a homeless camp right off of US 41 in Naples. You wouldn't expect this in Naples, but it existed at least until recently. So scattered through here are all the remnants of what would have just been a pretty elaborate homeless camp. I mean, you can see by the size of the carpets that are laid down that this site was actually pretty big. All of the things we see at homeless camps, beer cans, pens and pencils are used to make signs. Like you can see around here, there's a Sharpie over here. Now they use these Sharpies to make little signs to beg. You know, their little panhandling signs that they make. Lots of jewelry. There it is right there. Guys, it never fails, even in Naples, Florida. Can you believe this? Every single one of these homeless camps, it never fails. There's the needle cap. That means that here they were shooting up. Beautiful palm trees, US 41, Naples, Florida. Even Naples, Florida has homeless camps, guys. Unbelievable. It's hard to believe that here in Naples, Florida, there are needle junkies living off of US 41. But I lived in Naples, Florida for 20 years, and let me tell you, there was even a house on my street for a while that was slanging, and they never seemed to stop having customers. So unbelievable. But here in Naples, Florida, we have proof of huffing and proof of people shooting up in these homeless camps. Crazy to think. Hydrogen peroxide bottle there. They probably had some type of infection, but we found the needles. I knew they'd be here. But what's crazy about this site again is the fact that these deer have nowhere else to go. Once they build this empty lot, these deer are trapped in the middle of Naples. They're so accustomed to humans that you can get within 40 feet of them. You know, there's nowhere left to run. This little patch of trees is the only place left for these deer to live. It's crazy. But again, what leads people to this situation of homelessness? Clearly, addiction. There's the needle cap right there. Addiction leads people to this. You know, this is the result of addiction. And you don't start off in the woods breaking into people's houses looking for spray paint cans for huffing, but you do start off with legally prescribed medications or using stuff recreationally, thinking that it'll never happen to you. But as you can see here, there's more spray paint cans, so they're clearly huffing. So they're huffing and they're shooting up. Now, there's even some loose currency here. Here's a mango tree. Somebody probably shoot up a mango and threw the mango on the ground, and there you go. Tropical mango tree. And you can see over there another tropical palm tree. So yeah, this is the Florida Everglades. They did have gang graffiti. You can see the X, the V, and the 3. So typical, as most of these homeless camps are gonna have some type of gang graffiti. Go behind dollar store at night. Panhandling right there. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Registered Offender website, there are 3 homeless people that are registered offenders that live in this Walmart parking lot homeless. So not sure exactly where they're going to be throughout the day, but technically they live here. So somewhere around here are 3 homeless people that live in this Walmart that are registered offenders. Oh, that's new since the last time we were here. Then of course you have the Naples jailhouse right here. So when people get out of jail, first thing they do is hit the streets. Where they end up in East Naples. Blade's Motel. Good memories out here. Pizza place that's only open during season.
Yeah.
That's messed up. What about the locals? Yo, there's like a skyscraper going into Naples. Yo, look at that big building going up over there. It's crazy big. That's like Miami type of stuff. Alright, so you can't come to Naples and not get some good Cuban food. So we're going to stop here in Golden Gate City, Havana Libre, and try some good Cuban food. Dude, that thing is sick. It's like sitting on 30s, 28s. That thing is huge. We got some cafe con leche for the road.
And hot
Katie
chocolate.
got hot chocolate. I got cafe con leche for the road.
I had hot chocolate when we were in there.
Yeah.